I have the high ground, Anakin. You have done that yourself. I hate you. I hate sand. It's coarse and irritating. It gets everywhere.
That was good, isn't it?
That was sick. We were doing some Tai Chi right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. All right. Welcome to Worst Impressions. I am your host, Eric Anderson. This is where the stories are fake and the guests are even more fictional. Just kidding. Join me in my journey through podcast land. If you like what you hear, and I don't see how you could, check out the Patreon for the show and help support. Link in the show notes. If you'd like to support the show for free, simply share the show with your peers. Send a link or spread this thing via word of mouth. And if you remember after all that, hit that follow or subscribe button and rate her 5 stars. Now let's get on with the show.
It's a great intro.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, Anakin MacArthur.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anakin from Anakin's Insights. You are a tarot reader.
That is right.
Oh my God. Amazing. Okay. I have been watching Anakin's Insights. And I've been fascinated. I know very, very little aside from your videos, and it is tarot, correct? Like I'm pronouncing that right?
Yeah, tarot.
Okay, wonderful. And you are Anakin.
Yes.
That is your real name.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Before I start asking you questions, I've got to introduce you to my people.
Okay.
My fans. However modest and beautiful they all are. Anakin, if you don't mind me saying, I met you years ago. You were serving me at George's Bar and Grill in Woodway, and I noticed your name tag and it said Anakin, and I was just like, this guy's got a funny name tag. And I was like, and I was like, so I have to ask, is that your real name? And you said yes.
Yeah.
And I was immediately just like, oh my God, he's the chosen one. He's like, this is amazing. And you were so good, and my wife and I remembered, and you were so good then. You were so well spoken, and you really stuck out to us. And somehow we got to talking about Magic the Gathering, and then I was just like, and I believe you gave me at the time a business card, and I was like, this guy is awesome. This guy kicks ass. And so then years later, okay, I decide to go to a creatives mixer at PAC Waco, PACC. And it's kind of like a place, it was an event where people could meet each other that are creating things, podcasters, YouTubers, filmmakers, actors, just around Waco. And I see you and I recognize you, and I was like, oh my God. I was like telling my wife, I was like, that's Anakin. And she was like, you're insane. like you're stalking this guy. And I was like, no, let me go introduce myself. So then I did, and we connected, and you told me about your YouTube, and I checked it out, and then I tapped you for the podcast, and here we are. Because I was your YouTube channel is amazing. It's Anakin's Insights. Go pause this episode and go check it out on YouTube. So how did you get into tarot?
Okay, so I got into tarot when I was like 15 years old.
Okay.
I started reading at local markets.
Okay.
I was
Local markets.
yeah. Well, so okay. So I mean, I
Were
started
you just running wild, just like
yeah,
getting...
yeah, yeah. So when I was like 14, I did my first psychedelics, and so I
okay.
tripped out.
At 14. Wow. All right.
I was tripping on like LSD and stuff when I was young.
No way.
Yeah,
At
no,
14.
Seriously.
Holy shit.
It was just the environment that I grew up in, and my mom was she was getting into this psychic stuff and this tarot stuff, and so I had inquired about it, and I just picked it up with her, and so we learned together, and I've just been doing it on the side for like so many years.
Okay, doing on the side. So when did you start trying to spread your talents and spread your knowledge? You use words like transient. What is it? Transient spirituality? You have a lot of really good words on your on your stuff, and I'm like, wow, this guy knows words, bro.
I like words. Yeah. Words are one of my favorite things.
Yeah, they clearly and in your videos, in your readings, I think that's why people love it. Is you are extremely well spoken. Just and,
thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll cut that one off close.
Okay.
So yeah, what got you into doing it just solo, because you're doing it like what, kitchen table?
Yeah. So, okay. So first I got into it and I had to learn it. Took a long time to learn it. It's a lot of information. There's like 78 different cards. There's wands, coins, cups. There's all these different things that you have to learn, all these symbols. So I learned it for like years, and then I put it on the back burner. I stopped doing it for like 2 or 3 years. I worked at a grocery store.
What made you stop?
I don't. It was like, I sort of.
Did you lose the connection at all?
It's not that I had cards and I used them every so often, but I was more into business then. I was like super passionate about marketing and business.
Yeah,
and so I was
I'm
like,
gonna be a finance bro.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was like into crypto and I was into.
You were trying to go to the moon.
I was trying to go to the moon. That's exactly what I was doing. I was like, you know what, this tarot stuff, it's cool, but it's not gonna make me. It's not gonna make me.
It's not diamond hands hodling to the moon, guys.
It wasn't like a degenerate thing. Like I was a total degenerate in my like 18, 19, 20.
Weren't we all?
Yeah, gambling, crypto, all this stuff, man. And so I just sort of put it down for like a couple years, and then I picked it back up at the beginning of the last year because I had this awakening. I had this experience in my body, opened up my heart.
Really?
And then I started wanting to express myself, put myself out there. And so I did, but then tarot just became something that it was just a skill. So I was like, I'll record myself do this.
Yeah.
And then I was doing that while I was talking to the camera. Cause at first my YouTube was just talking to the camera.
Okay.
My first my 30, 35 videos, I just put the camera up and I was just talking. No subject, no nothing.
Just essentially like a vlog.
Yeah, like a vlog.
Okay.
But I was just...
But no tarot.
No tarot. Just reminiscing, just like talking about memories, events, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the tarot, I was like, you know what? Because here's the thing. I've been asking my mom and other people in my life to do readings online forever because I got into business and marketing.
Okay. Yeah,
and I was like, you should do this, like you should do readings online because other people are being successful at it. And meanwhile, I could do them and I wasn't doing them.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, and then after so long of trying to convince people around me to do it, I just gave up on that and I did it myself.
Who in the community, because I wouldn't know, and a lot of my listeners probably won't know, but who in the community do you in the tarot reading community do you look up to? Like what are these influences that you say that are doing well?
I like Tyler Tarot on YouTube.
Okay.
I like Moonlight Guidance on YouTube.
Okay.
I have a couple little ones, like channels that are either, just the same size as me or smaller than me that I like to watch.
That are just special.
I just like them.
Sure.
I like Moon. She's from Australia.
Ooh, an Australian.
I like 144 from the. And another thing why I did tarot online is because I'm an active consumer. Like,
okay.
So I knew exactly what my consumers were looking for because I'm it. Like, I'm the one.
Yeah.
I'm the one who sits there and watches these tarot readings all the time.
Right. Yeah, I was like, I know what I'm looking for.
I'm like, dude, I watch these tarot readings all the time. I'm telling people to do them. I have the skill. Why not just do it?
Yeah.
And so then that's what got me to do it.
That's so cool. Good job. Good job.
And like, I didn't even care if it picked up or if it got successful.
Sure. Yeah.
I was just
what does it give? What does it give to you?
Yeah.
When you're doing the readings,
what does it give to? Okay, so how I go about my readings. So a lot of the time, I'm just reading from. I'm helping myself out with the reading, and I associate myself with the people that I'm reading with. So so in my mind, I'm like, okay, so authenticity is really like people connect to authenticity.
Absolutely.
Because when you're being authentic, you're showing a real side of yourself. And when you show that side of yourself, other people, the real side of them starts to come out and they connect.
That's why I do full frontal at the end of every episode.
Absolutely. With the golden Speedo. That's what you got to do. You got a 12-month calendar coming out.
Dude, I'm serious. That is what I am serious. As soon as I get enough of a following to where I can sell a sexy calendar of myself,
you gotta do
I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
Just so you know.
It's in the works for me, man. I gotta think about it.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude.
I think it's fun.
We'll get you in touch with some boudoir photographers.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so yeah, we were talking about what it gives you, the authenticity.
Okay, so I basically read for myself, right? When I go on there, I read for aspects of myself that need healing, or that need advice, or let's say I'm like, I have a project that I'm working on in my own life, and I'm like, you know what? I really just would like some information on this project. Let me do a reading on it, and then.
That's interesting. So, and the reading will give you, and because that's another thing. I'm like, what is the range, or is there a range of what the cards can tell you?
It's a big range. They can tell you a lot of stuff about a lot of different stuff. And so that's what I've been working towards and working into more. Accessing the unconscious, accessing the collective unconscious of like the people out there. Instead of just reading for myself, asking questions for a collective and serving an audience.
Ooh, okay.
Because I feel like if I motivate myself through like serving myself, I don't necessarily feel as driven as when I'm motivating myself through service of others, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like, but it's a sort of a selfish driver because I perform better.
Okay. No, well, but so yeah, there's an interesting dichotomy. There's something interesting about the idea that the thing that you're doing, and I don't want to use the word, I don't know if I should use the word performance, but for me, performance or doing a show, I'm doing a lot of it selfishly, but I do want to make people laugh or make people have fun or give them some sort of entertainment. Now, I know it's different, but yeah, I think there has to be some sort of selfish endeavor in order to produce a product like that.
Yeah, I call it Jim Rohn. Do you listen to Jim Rohn?
I do not.
So Jim Rohn is this speaker from like the 1990s, and he said that he would talk about selfishness like it's not selfish to take care of yourself and to provide for yourself. It's enlightened self-interest.
Okay.
Because if you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of anybody else, right? So I think
Exactly.
I want my friends to be selfish. I want my people to be selfish because then I know they're taken care of.
Okay, sure.
I don't
Yeah.
gotta worry about them. They worry about themselves.
Yeah.
Or they take care of themselves.
Right. Yeah, I tell him you can fuck right off.
Yeah, you can go fuck right off. Hit the curb,
Oh, man.
man.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you've given us a little bit of backstory already. Yeah, so you've already given us a good timeline
Mm,
of when you started.
mm.
So you've already answered all of that stuff. And the biggest influences, would you say the biggest influences are those other YouTube channels that you mentioned, or do you have an even larger, more existential influence?
Yeah, my influences right now are so like mystics like Alan Watts, Ram Dass, Maharaji, which is Ram Dass's guru.
And these are just
These
pretend I'm 5. I have no idea.
these are these are mystics. So
mystics. Okay.
these are people who sort of dissect consciousness, and this is how I got into all of it. So after I had my psychedelic thing when I was
And this is one. Is this one specific like psychedelic episode that is like that your world? I'm not.
Yeah, sort of.
I'm not making
It's-
this
it-
smaller than it is. But
it's like a
one-
moment in my life
that is.
that opened me up to expanding my consciousness.
Wow. Hell yeah.
And before that moment, I was so fixated on doing things a certain way. And I can even remember like how I would think as a 14-year-old, right? And then and then I changed my thinking because of that experience. And when I changed my thinking, a lot of things fell through for me. Like I was a very disciplined kid. Like I was
Okay.
very like I played sports all the time. I was constantly in the gym. I was always doing something. I was always disciplined. I had great math scores, great school scores, all that stuff. But after I had that experience, it all fell through, right?
Yeah. So yeah, these psychedelic.
Yeah, like,
these psychedelic drugs got you out of.
but they got me out of the real world, right? They got me out of the material world, and
Absolutely.
they shot me into the spiritual world.
I'm with you. I'm with you because yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
But you and because and you could consciously see that there was a reason behind like everything falling through. It wasn't just like because there's some people that are just like, nah, I don't want to, like they just get like, what I mean? They just kind of get like, but that's not about like a spiritual awakening. It's just, that's a motivation thing.
Yeah, it became
what I mean?
it became very real to me. I started seeing the world as a construction, and I started seeing school as like me conforming to school, and
Sure.
I saw myself going down these pathways that I didn't actually feel like going down. I was just going down them because somebody told me that I had to, or somebody told me that I would be a good kid if I got good grade. And so all of these constructs in my head, all these perceptions, I started to question them. Like, do I really like doing math? Do I really like getting good grades? Is this really purposeful in my life? And so when I started asking those questions, I came to the conclusion that like there's no reason why I'm here.
Do you remember having any conversations with adults that like you couldn't believe that they didn't understand, like that they didn't understand what you were saying? Or because I have a feeling
Yeah.
going, going through those motions and going through that journey, I imagine there's some adult that you just like, because I had those conversations with adults too. It's like you don't get what I'm about. Sir, you don't fucking know what's going on in here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, did you ever have any of those?
Well, man,
Like coaches and shit?
well, at first, I loved my coaches in my sports. Like,
Okay.
I loved coaches. Coaches were awesome. I grew up in like sort of a weird environment, like home life, right?
Sure.
But for me, it was all about finding the words because I didn't have them. I did not have the words. And that's why I like words, because
Okay.
back then I had all these thoughts in my head. I was questioning all these things. I had all these ideas, and I didn't have the words to express them.
Interesting.
And so my journey became, how can I say what this is? how can I speak this into existence? Because I don't know how. And for some reason, my proclivity was towards that. Like I just needed to be understood.
Hell yeah, dude.
And so I strove for that.
Okay. Hell yeah. What? Okay. Awesome. What were you? So you were? Did you start reading? Like where'd you get the words from? Because I've seen the videos.
Exactly.
Bro. You've got the words.
So okay. Well, first I'm telling you. First I was copying other words. So I would read a book and then I would just start sharing the information in it.
Which is a big part of being a writer. Like you have to read and like copy the greats and then learn from there. Like,
exactly.
You learn from the best.
Exactly. And
so what books were you reading?
Well, it wasn't books at first. It was Alan Watts. It was a lot of Alan Watts.
And who is this guy?
So this guy is a philosopher around the same time that Bruce Lee was around. This guy was around.
And this is a okay, we'll get to Bruce Lee.
And so and so I want to go back to Bruce Lee actually, because it started with like I was wrestling in 6th grade and I picked up a book on Newton and Galileo, Einstein, and I picked up a book on string theory. So there was 3 books that
In what grade?
I was in 6th grade.
And you
and so I picked up these books.
I was picking up, the Pokemon Emerald guidebook.
No, I was playing Pokemon too.
Halo 2 guidebook. I wasn't picking up the string theory. Like back when I didn't have internet.
Man, dude, I was so convicted because I read it for the first time. I didn't understand what that book had to say. And I looked at it and I was just like, oh my goodness. But I forced myself to understand it. I made myself, like, I really wanted to understand it. I wanted to be somebody who understood it. But more so, I think I just wanted to understand myself. And I looked around and there was, you were saying, like, do you ever feel like parents or like adults didn't understand you? I felt like there's nobody who was on the path around me of self-discovery.
No, literally no one.
Like it was hard for me to find anyone in my childhood who was doing the same things that I was doing.
Right.
And when I did find them, it was me trying to make something out of it. But I don't feel like I was old enough or knowledgeable enough or wise enough to lead a group into learning stuff when I was back then.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
But I had friends and I played Pokemon and I did that stuff. But I was interested in this stuff and it was always something that was on my mind.
So you said, you said, oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher it, but you said on a journey to discover, to understand yourself, and how close do you think you are to that? I don't think you'll never know.
Well, I think at this point, like it's sort of a game. It's sort of like like any of the biggest existential life's questions, they're all paradoxes. They all lead to themselves, or like you can ask, why do you do it? Why do it to get it done? Well, it never gets done. Yeah. Right. Well, then why do you do it? Why do it to do it? Well, why are you asking? Like there's a lot of paradox in trying to find those answers. But I think thinking about the question, do I understand myself, helps me understand myself a little bit more. You know what I really think it is, Eric? I think it's a confidence thing.
Okay.
I think it's you either know yourself or you don't, and I think it's a decision that you have to make. I think a lot of what Zen is it's like guys go to Zen monasteries for 10 years to learn this thing called Zen, and at the end of the 10-year long training, the whole thing was a sham, and they had the Zen the whole time. It was like you have it the whole time. And what Zen monasteries do, when the guy goes to the Zen monastery and talks to the Zen master, he says, enlighten me, show me what you're doing, show me what you're teaching all these people.
Yeah.
And the Zen master will always say, go away. I have nothing to teach you. There's nothing that you can have from me.
Have you ever gone to one?
No, but
is it a life goal?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Where would one be?
Well, okay. So first, before Zen monasteries, because I would love to play with Zen because I have a very complicated mind, I feel like.
Okay.
But I want to go to Kainchi Dan in India.
Kainchi Dan.
Kainchi Dan is where my guru, who's not alive today, he died in 1972, but that's where his ashram is.
What is an ashram?
That's where his shrine, like that's where his place of worship is.
Okay.
And so that's the same. And
you got to get there, dude.
I know.
When are we going?
June 15th, man.
You're going this year?
Well, okay.
It's like, what?
Okay. I got to get my passport. Okay, I got to get my passport all rectified, and I have to have it for 6 months.
Yeah.
So, but June 15th is when they celebrate Maharaji, which is the guru, at the ashram.
Okay.
So that's a really cool place.
That sounds awesome.
It's amazing. Like Maharaji is amazing.
Okay. If you were this is I guess this is a sort of a tangent.
Yeah.
But because it seems you speak with a ton of confidence. Like you were talking about, like it's about confidence and saying you are confident in yourself and you know yourself. Now, like, what would you say to someone that might be struggling with being able to say that to themselves? Because that is a strong feeling to have.
Well, I wouldn't go to them. I would let them come to me.
Right. Let's say, okay, hypothetically.
Okay.
And hypotheticals are annoying, but I ask them all the time on this podcast.
Yeah.
But if they came to you and they say, hey, Anakin, I love everything you're about. How do I get the confidence that you have? Where would I start, to be kind of like you? And not that like, and they might even be more learned and know that they don't want to be exactly like you, but it seems like you have a lot of knowledge. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them?
I mean, the first step is you have to decide. You have to decide that you want to.
Decide that you want to be confident?
You have to decide that that's what you want.
Sure.
It's an interesting game. It's an interesting game. And, they in Zen, they say, in order to become, enlightened, in order to become awake, you have to, like mentally, your father has to die to you, and you have to be willing to kill your father in order to become part of the patriarchy.
Is this literal?
It's in one of the Zen classics.
Okay.
But it's like, it's like you have to not be intimidated by anybody else in this world.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Because like the word father meaning something that is above you that intimidates you. Is that what's kind of it saying?
Intimidation is an illusion. And so to become confident, you have to realize that that's the illusion. Nobody's actually intimidating.
That's right.
That's right. And well, like that's the thing. It's all a game in your mind. And it's so long as somebody is able to convince you out of yourself, you should be convinced out of yourself.
I feel like when you look into my eyes, you are seeing how fragile of a human being I am. You're just like, so holy shit, this guy's got a lot of work to do. Oh man. Okay, I'm learning so much.
So much.
This is awesome. Okay. The word guru.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like offensive. Like, what constitutes a guru? Like, can you be a guru to other people or no?
I think the guru is an embodiment of God. And I think that we decide who our gurus are. It's a self-made decision. But
mine's Chris Farley going.
Yeah, like if you have, yours is Chris Farley, but
I mean, for sure.
But like seriously, if you devote yourself to a being, and it's just a path. There's so many paths to enlightenment. There's so many paths that lead you to love. There's so many paths that lead you to that. But a guru is just one of those paths. And so it's just somebody that you've allowed to embody God.
Wow.
Outside of yourself. But you are also, and everyone innately has God within them, has this universal consciousness within them.
And when you, and we can get into this and we don't have to. When you say God, do you mind me asking what is there a denomination that you align with, or what would you describe, what God ? I don't, because to me, okay, fine. A little bit of backstory about me, not very religious.
Yeah.
Like at all. So when God is brought up, I think like Bible Belt Christian Baptist God, but then I don't think that's, what we're talking about here, but I'm curious.
Okay. Okay, so first thing that I have to say about that is if I were able to put it into words, you would not understand. We would not understand.
Even if you were, I wouldn't understand, brother.
Nobody would understand.
No, I got you.
So even if you're able to put it into words, if you can comprehend what God is with your rational thinking mind, then that is not God.
I'm with you.
But I also use the word Tao, which is Taoism.
Okay, and what is that? Is that a denomination?
Man follows the world follows the universe. Universe follows the Tao follows only itself.
Okay.
It goes by no name. It has no denomination. It just is everything. And then, so reading The Elegant Universe when I was that young, I learned about string theory, which says that everything is made of the same stuff on the Planck length, which is the lowest, at the smallest point of existence, everything is the same.
The same bullshit.
The same matter, the same stuff, right? And so that stuff is essentially God, the universe, the Tao. But also, it's, we're experiencing ourselves. So like, you're God, I'm God.
I am God.
And so, yeah. Exactly.
I got you. I know, I got you.
So it's like,
because I'm not, I've definitely given it some thought, and I feel like I've said something similar to what you said a little bit ago, where you said, if I could explain it, then that's not God. God is something that I can't explain. I firmly believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
If there is, God above there, then it's something that is completely inexplainable. Interesting.
It's a transcendent experience that doesn't involve the rational thinking mind.
Damn.
And that's a lot what Zen is. Zen is, the practice of Zen is a dialogue, really. And it's
okay.
And it's usually the question asker and the question answer. It's a dialogue where the whole point is to get rid of the mind.
Are we zenning out right now?
I think we are. Well, maybe we are.
Hell yeah. That's what I thought.
Well, who's asking, really?
Yeah, it's like God. Okay. So all right, I gotta ask, to satisfy the title gimmick of the show, Worst Impressions. Now it's okay. You know, but you are going to bring to us a little bit of the words of wisdom of Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got?
He said, "Be like water. When it enters the teacup, it becomes the teacup. When it enters the glass, it becomes the glass. When it's something about crashing and being still, be like water." That's one of my favorite interviews by him.
Anakin, ladies and gentlemen. That was incredible. Thank you for obliging the show.
Love it.
And so you love Bruce Lee. You love all that stuff. Is there anything is there anything we missed in your lore that is integral to your story that we need to touch on before we maybe do a reading?
Oh yeah. Anything else? Not a lot. I'm into. The reason why I like Bruce Lee is because I was a wrestler. I was a collegiate wrestler.
A collegiate wrestler?
Yeah.
Really?
So I did wrestling for a lot of years, and I was I placed in state in Washington State for a couple of years.
Wow.
I loved wrestling. I loved fighting. It was a really, really good expression for me. I like fighting.
You like fighting.
I like the art of it.
The art of it.
I like the whole idea.
Okay.
I like to be able to use your body in that way.
What is your favorite martial art?
I think I like Muay Thai, but I'm not too good at Muay Thai. I'm better at wrestling, and I like Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
Jiu-Jitsu's awesome.
So you say now, this is just part of the my homework in the bio. It says, I believe it says self-proclaimed peaceful guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how does that work? I mean, now just because you know martial arts and you enjoy them doesn't mean that you're necessarily violent.
Right.
But how do you merge those two ideas?
Well, okay. Well, so backstory in Chinese history, the Bodhidharma came up from India around 500 BC, and he introduced the idea of spirituality to China, right? Because before him, you had kung fu artists and you had monks, and they didn't mix the two. The kung fu guys were hot-headed and angry, and they destroyed things, and the monks their bodies were useless and frail. Yeah. And so the Bodhidharma came to China, and he said, why don't we combine these two practices so that the fighters will be more peaceful in their mind and not destroy things, and the monks will have a better body and more capability. And so the Shaolin monks and all these sects were created. And so that's why we have today martial arts. It's very involved in spirituality, and I think what I follow is like the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is Taoism, and the teaching is by this guy named Lao Tzu,
okay,
which was also around that same era of Bodhidharma, and it is embodied in Qigong, which is like energy work. Qi. Gotcha. So the Tao Te Ching is like a guide on how to have a lot of qi. And so like nowadays it's like how to aura max, how to get your aura big, right? You want to get your aura big, you do Tai Chi.
Okay.
It's
I'm
interesting.
with you. I'm following.
So like the fighting for me at first had nothing to do with the spirituality at all, but it's like integrating the body. And this is why I like Bruce Lee, because he did get injured, and so he had to go into the philosophy behind what he was doing. And so that philosophy is the warrior within. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war.
Damn.
And that's Bruce Lee. That's a Bruce Lee-ism.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm starting to get what you're about, dude.
All right.
I'm starting. Again, like I can't, very, very well spoken. Like you've, like you got a lot to say. It's kind of, I know you were saying intimidation is a mind game. It's in my head, but yeah, it's intimidating. It's not intimidating to talk to you, but it's like this guy knows some stuff. Like this guy you have something going on here. And I believe what, I believe your journey, and I believe. And I'm serious. I don't know, because to be frank, jokes aside, I'm not, I do not. I've never seen tarot reading and like, oh, let me go get my reading. I don't subscribe to any martial art. I am more of a clown like that. That is just tormented inside and gets a laugh. Kind of,
Yeah.
So that is where I lay in the chaos sphere. So seeing someone grounded in all of that you just talked about is very interesting and eye-opening for me. Yeah.
I like there's different archetypes, right? And the
Yeah.
jester archetype, I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of what a billiken is?
A billiken?
Yeah.
No.
So a billiken is like a god of luck. And it's a talisman that it's called the Secret Council of Jesters, and it's in America.
Okay.
And so there's this council of jesters. It's really prominent in Waco.
What?
Yeah, it's really prominent.
Go on.
So there's this council of jesters, and I find stuff from them at Goodwill, and I'm also a prominent estate seller, thrifter, and like I go to Goodwill and stuff.
Okay.
I love finding like talismans and different cool little trinkets.
Yeah.
But so I find billikens, and billikens are.
And how do you recognize them?
So they look like a little. You'd have to look up a picture. Look up a picture of a billiken.
A billiken? Okay.
It's called
How do I spell it?
Billiken, I think. Hold on, let me see. It's called a billiken. But I feel like it would be a great talisman for you.
They're the St. Louis Billikens.
Oh yeah.
It is a mascot of a of a college.
Oh yeah, so they made it a mascot of that college. But if you look up the Order of Jesters,
Order of Jesters.
I don't know if it's the order or if it's the Royal Order or. Okay. It's the mascot and icon of the Royal Order of Jesters, a secretive social club that emphasizes mirth and laughter. Mirth is king is their slogan, and they're big in Waco. It's a secret society though.
Okay.
And they sell a bunch of stuff around here.
Okay.
But like,
I'm getting nervous.
But they're okay, dude. That's good energy. That's great. That's excitement.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so. But there's different archetypes, and I love the jester archetype. And when I was growing up and doing these psychedelics and stuff, I always wanted to embody that. And that's part of the reason why I came here, because I love comedy. I love stand-up comedians, and I love what they do. I've always wanted to do it, but I've never put in the work of actually like researching it, going on there, trying to get a laugh. I'm not that guy, but.
No, I'm glad you're here. So you said there's different archetypes. What archetype are you?
I'd say like a hermit, probably.
Okay. What are the archetypes?
So there's 22 major arcana cards in here.
Okay.
And there is 56 minor arcana. Major arcana are the archetypes. And it's sort of a Jungian, Carl Jung, which is this guy who studied symbols in the 1900s. He came up with this archetypical philosophy where everybody embodies a certain archetype. And so I like archetypes because it's like, you embody this. We all embody our own original character.
Right.
And so we're not just one archetype, but
sure.
You have these multiple, different things, these influences about you. Mm-hmm. And for me, I believe that it's just proclivity. It's wherever you want to be, like whatever you're interested in. That's where that's your archetype. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to let you work. If you'd like, you can set him here. You can set him up there.
Yeah.
If you want to, I don't know if you can right around here, Anakin, like in this little like window, the camera will see it if you want to like show it up.
Okay.
We
don't need to show it. I'm just going to read you.
Okay.
All right, I'll put it right here. How about that?
Perfect.
That worked. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna read Mr. Eric here.
All right.
Okay.
I'm super nervous.
Okay.
Is there anything to be worried about? Before we do it, what is the worst outcome of a of a reading? This is one of my questions I had.
Okay, so the worst outcome is I pick up on an energy or an influence. Actually, you know what? There's no worst outcome, because
that's what I like to hear.
Because it's just like tripping acid, dude. If you have a bad trip, it's actually a good trip. It's actually good for you. Okay?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I think too. Love it.
No, it's.
I don't have the worst anxiety when I do psychedelics. That's not me. That is me, by the way. First time I ever did shrooms, I was like, oh, I can't do this. I have to be in control. Don't even like being
Who's I?
God.
No, well, like seriously, when you say
Sorry.
you have to be in control, right? But well, first of all, in control of what? Are you even listen? You don't beat your heart. You don't pump the blood through your veins. You don't control your internal organs.
I
have
do
no.
beat my meat though.
That's
So I'm fully in control of
Oh,
that,
that's
and no one
actually-
else is, unless they want to be. Go on. But
but no,
anyways,
no.
okay. But so no, I got you.
yeah, but yeah. So you don't control really anything ever,
Mm-hmm.
even when you feel like you're controlling it. Are you?
Yeah.
No, like think about it. Are you? Do you have control really?
Are you?
Is it? I feel like it's an illusion. Okay.
Do you believe in what is it where we have no control of our destiny or predetermined whatever?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. So when I say I am in control or I want to be in control, right? I feel like it's an illusion for and now I'm going to get into like terms and stuff. My ego can never be in control. That's an illusion.
Mine can. Just so you know.
Okay, cool. And the ego
my ego runs my life.
Okay. I'm a very ego-driven individual. That's good though. I like ego-driven individuals. They get shit done. Anyway.
Sure they do.
But I don't feel like the ego can ever really be in control.
Okay.
I feel like it's just never.
I'm with you because I really want to. I'm like, tell me how. Like, yeah, you tell me.
So I was just thinking about this yesterday. So this is super like cool. So it's like, okay, so the real world, the stuff that we can touch, taste, feel, hear, see, is essentially, it does not really like. It's an illusion.
Okay.
Because it's dualistic, which means that it's in duality, because it's all one, right? We're all one energy. It's all made of the same stuff,
right? Like
so when you get into
yeah.
when it becomes dualistic and you can touch stuff and all this stuff, it's actually an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know how they say like nothing is perfect, right?
Right.
And you can't create perfection in this world. Right. Well, perfection is actually reality. And so when you're existing in the 3D world, it's impossible to get something perfect. And if it is perfect, it's actually an illusion in this world. Like you can't make anything actually perfect here.
I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But and here this is like, okay, so but if you take a step, instead of trying to create perfection within the illusion, I say, or what you should do is just get out of the illusion. Instead of trying to create perfection in the illusion, thus forth creating another illusion within the illusion, just realize that you're in an illusion.
To put this into terms of like psychedelics,
okay.
If I did shrooms again,
yes,
I should release more, like let go and let the
thinker gets to go away.
The thinker,
the one who thinks.
Oh my God.
You know those thoughts?
Yeah.
The thinker's got to go away.
Okay.
Once the thinker's gone, you can have God. You can be God. Because that's essentially, the thinker is your tool. It's and I think a lot of us forget that, and I think that's what the spiritual journey is all about. Remembering that those thoughts are actually your tools.
Okay.
Your feelings are even more so your tools, I believe. And so when you're feeling anxious, it's actually an indicator for you that's telling you that you are out of alignment with God.
Huh.
And so whatever thoughts you're thinking when you're feeling anxious, those are not your thoughts. Or if they are your thoughts, they're owned by the rational mind and not by God. And so if you want to get rid of anxiety, you just have to realize that the thoughts that you're thinking are causing your body to have an emotional release, because the you that you truly are does not think those thoughts. So you're creating a separation between you and who you really are. And your ego is creating that separation. So then there
Yeah.
becomes this shaky energy because you're trying to separate yourself into two.
And that's anxiety.
And that's where that shakiness comes from. So you just want to bring it back, and you do it gently. You be nice to yourself.
You make love to it.
You make love to you. You beat your meat hard. No,
right.
but sometimes, you beat your meat and you forget about the world.
You got it.
And there you go. You've accessed God.
All right. I'm not going to stall anymore.
All right.
I will let you do what you do.
Let's get a signifier card for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So is there any like questions that you're wondering about in your life? Any like or do you just want a general?
Oh, well, how about this?
Yeah.
For this episode, maybe let's do a general one.
Yeah.
And then, like if you ever want to come back, I will we can get into some questions.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we can trip on some mushrooms on one of these.
That would be pretty sick.
That'd be hilarious.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay, let's get you a general reading.
Okay.
Okay, so five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. I'm gonna let you look at this card.
Okay.
Just so you can like get a feel for it and what it's all about.
Wow. Oh, it is in reverse. Like this is how do I? Whoa.
Okay, so it shows two guys, right? Or a girl and a guy, and
one of them's on crutches.
it's like the blind. One of them is blind and one of them's deaf, so they got to help each other.
I'm gonna be honest. This doesn't look good. All right.
Well, it's in reverse, so I feel like there's it's indicating that you have strong faith about something, or that there's something in your life that you're having to hold strong faith about, and I feel like you're having to hold strong faith for this thing, but it's also there's this anxiety about it. I feel like, hold on.
I'm okay.
But
Do I need to talk or do I need to just listen? Okay, got it.
If you have a question though, feel free to ask.
You got it.
Or if you have something to add, feel free to add.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start going into it though. Hold on.
Please do.
Okay, so oh wow, I'm gonna read you to filth. Wow. Eric.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
I've heard of this. I've heard of reading of filth. What does that mean? Explain it.
It just means that I'm gonna say some stuff that I'm gonna put the mirror in front of your face.
You.
All right. So there's like some anxiety about some. I feel like there's codependent energy as well, but you're releasing it. You're on your way out of it. You're working on like getting out of that mind state. Okay, but there's something that you're holding on to that you're currently working on letting go of. And the only thing preventing you, the only like bottleneck for you is the truth, which is interesting.
Damn.
It's an interesting thing. But there's success that's guaranteed here. And whatever this is, whatever you're trying to let go of, whatever like part of yourself that you're trying to like say, okay, I no longer want to be this way. I want to be this way. There's success guaranteed, but it's coming with delays. Which means
it's coming with delays?
Yeah, it's going to take some work.
So there's success guaranteed, but it's coming with delays.
Exactly. So whatever you're trying to release out of your system, it is coming out of you.
Uh-huh.
It's just you're going to need to do the work, which is what you're doing. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And also, you got to start distracting yourself from the things that you've wanted for a long time. The things that you've wanted for a long time, they're coming as soon as you stop thinking about them. As soon as you stop fixating on them and making them the only thing you think about. Once you stop thinking about it, it will hit like everything will go. Page of Pentacles upright. Yeah, it's like you're starting a venture and you really are wanting to be disciplined and diligent about what you're doing. And then immediate future. Oof. But here's the thing.
Wait, why?
Eric,
why the oofs?
Eric, you got too much going on. You got to focus.
Okay.
You gotta simplify. You gotta simplify. Just start with one. Start with one thing, because you can have it all. You can have your dream. You can do this. It's just you can't do it all at once. You gotta focus on one thing. Get it going. Get it successful. Double down on what's working, and just make it happen. And I don't even know what I'm talking about really, but I'm just gonna go. This is how you see yourself. Justice. Okay, justice is a great card. That's like a beautiful card. That means that whatever outcome is coming from this, you're going to think it's fair. So it's like you're going to feel like this is a fair outcome, like what you've put in, you're going to get out, and like the work that you've been doing is paying off.
Really?
Really. Four of Cups, the world sees you as somebody who is you're allowing it in. The world sees you like even like you're starting to allow it in, and you're more relaxed, and so you seem more relaxed. You seem like you're allowing this stuff in. You it's like you seem like you come off as it's like there was a huge shift in your presence, in your aura.
There was?
There either was or there's going to be here. It's in the process. This is your current vibrational frequency. So I feel like it's shifting because earlier we talked about how you're still letting it go. You're still letting that old version go. But as you do, you're seeing this new version, and others in the world are seeing it from you already. So while, behind closed doors, you're still sort of letting go of that old paradigm and that old version of yourself.
Yeah.
Out in public, people are already seeing you as the new and improved version of yourself. If that makes sense. Okay.
No, I'm in shock.
Okay, cool. Okay, so hopes and fears, you got Ace of Wands. So you're hoping that you're going to be motivated to take action and do all of this stuff. And I feel like you're also hoping that the energy stays and that you'll be able to use it every day and that you won't have any delays with it. Probable outcome is the Empress in reverse. Okay. So, oof. Okay. So when we see Empress in reverse, we know that projects and outcomes are not going to be in your favor, right? Because there's certain aspects of yourself that you need to take care of before they can work. And I feel like when this card comes out in probable outcome, it's asking you to slow down, simplify, get more connected with the earth, because it signifies that the earth energy within you need grounding. You got to be grounded. You got to be grounded in order to make this paradigm shift happen. Okay.
No, I'm with you.
I would love, and the only reason I'm telling you that projects and outcomes aren't going to work out right now is because, if I was in the same position, I would want to know. You know what I mean? I would want to know that. So it's just don't start anything new. The best thing for you to do is simplify, reduce it down, focus on one thing. Success is guaranteed, but it's going to take diligent action, patience, perseverance, and work. You're going to think that this is a fair outcome. What it also means is whatever you put in, you're going to get out. Okay? Now, the world is already perceiving you as the world is already perceiving you way, way ahead, which is great.
What is perceiving me way ahead?
Like you have a version of yourself that you would like to be, you're heading in the direction of.
Uh-huh.
You present yourself in the world as that version. But you also have a version of yourself that you're working on.
Yeah.
And so that version stays within yourself. And I can tell that you've been doing you've been putting in that work. You've been sort of doing all of this already.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. I like it. So that's the whole thing. And if you have any questions, we go deeper.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I was, it's yeah. That was it's pretty moving. Okay. You said you liked the Justice.
Yes, I like the Justice.
And the Justice is fair amount in, fair amount out, something like that.
The Seeker here is going to feel like the outcome is fair. So you're the Seeker. So, And there's a lot of minor arcana cards, and there's only 2 major arcana cards. So a lot of this is self-fulfilling like it has to do with you, your world, how you have control basically of a lot of the outcome here.
Okay. But I have to simplify.
Yes, the only outcomes that you don't have control of are your projects right now are not working.
Okay.
Or you feel, it's not that they're not working. You feel like they're not working. There's this feeling of like it's not going the way that you want it to go. That's just because you got way too much going on, and you got to reduce down. That's it. Let's pull another card. I want you.
I'm gonna pull one.
There you go.
Okay.
And then hand it. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's a really good card.
What is it? The sun.
The sun.
I'm the sun.
You're the sun.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Okay, so the sun is a successful card. It's triumphant success. It probably means that you took a lot from this reading. And that's why I like doing these readings, but if we did another one right now, you'd probably be completely shifted your energy.
Right, because of what I took from this.
Exactly. That's why I like them, because it's constructive and it has
right.
It has an effect on your outcome.
Yeah. I've become completely dry-mouthed and aghast and agape at this whole thing.
You think that was pretty spot on?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm obsessed now.
Really?
Well, I'm obsessed with what the reading got it. With what the reading said now.
Okay, yeah, we can go into
which is good, right? Like,
yeah.
Like
questions. What do we got? What do you got questions for?
Well, it's you said yeah.
I'd love to bring
the projects, projects are not going the way, in my mind, the way that I want them. I need to simplify.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting because it's stuff that is stuff that's that goes on in my head all the time. As you know, about this podcast, about this everything that I do surrounding this is my passion, my project.
Mm-hmm.
And simplify. Interesting.
Do you want to know what specific area that you need to simplify?
You can tell me with the cards?
I think so, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
Let's go.
Okay, so what specific area does Eric need to simplify? Do you have how many projects do you have going on? Because we'll pull that many cards.
Well, I've got the podcast, and with it, that's the thing. I think the podcast is it branches. I'm trying to grow my YouTube base. I'm trying to grow my audio listener base. I'm trying to grow my social media. And then I'm also trying to work out a live show event in the future. And it's a bit overwhelming.
I completely understand.
And I was like, as a fellow,
I completely understand.
Someone, but working, in YouTube, I'm just like when I saw your stuff, I was like, wow, this guy's really popping off. I would say, so yeah.
But I also need to get on TikTok and Instagram. And,
all that
stuff. But well, I think I have some insight there. But okay, so I feel like that's all the one thing. So when's your birthday? So when's your birthday?
My birthday is June 1st.
Oh, okay, June 1st. What year?
1994.
1994. What is that? The year? The Chinese zodiac behind that one?
I do not.
All right, let's look it up. 1994. 1994 Chinese zodiac. I know you're not a. Hold up. Okay, so you're a dog in Chinese zodiac.
Okay.
Trustworthy, hardworking, sincere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
June 1st. So that's 6/1. 1994 would be 18, 19. That's 5 plus 1 plus 6 is 12. So your life path 3. Okay.
I'm
so
life path.
your numerology, your life path is 3. Okay.
Okay.
And what that means is C is the third letter of the alphabet: communication, correspondence, community. Podcasting is like the way to go as a life path 3, because you're all about creativity. You're all about community. You're all about communication and talking and just being in that. You're also the life path of the inner child.
Okay.
So very childlike, very funny, very playful. Also, you get bored easily, extremely easily.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but let's do 3 piles because your life path 3.
3 piles.
Pick one or point at one.
I'll do the middle.
Middle pile. Okay, let's use that. And then what are we doing now? So we're going to look at, okay, so how can Eric simplify here? How can Eric simplify? Independent. You got to let it go. Okay, so you have this big dream and vision in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of resistance around that vision. You don't believe that you can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's preventing you from getting it.
Okay.
So instead of trying to fix that, let it go.
All right.
You don't even need to fix it. You don't even need to clean it up. Just stop thinking about it. And I know that's like
it's hard.
It's tough. It's tough. But you have 17 seconds. So like when you think a thought about it or about, how, but here's the thing. You think about the podcast and then that leads to a thought that thinks, well, it's not, or maybe it's not going as well as you want it to go. That second thought, you have 17 seconds to catch it and pivot, which means as soon as you think, well, I haven't gotten it yet, you have 17 seconds to say, I'm going to get it. It's going to work out for me. Okay. I've got this.
Yeah.
Okay. Because in 17 seconds, you'll get another thought just like that one.
Right.
You'll get another negative thought, and then you'll think it's you. You'll think that you're thinking all these negative thoughts. It's the mind. It plays games.
Right.
So you have 7, and this is why you want to use it as a tool. You got those 17 seconds. You're like, I got this. Everything works out for me. And this is self-talk. I love self-hypnosis. It's so powerful, especially for a life path 3. Like you start talking to yourself in this way, and everything will start to work out for you. It's time to take action too. Stop planning stuff. Just take action. Action.
Stop planning stuff.
Like
nice.
Yeah, because action is going to get you out of your head.
Right.
And it does. It does get you out of your head. So if you feel like you're in your head, go take some action. There's always stuff to do. I mean, you won't, like, you do this. There's always stuff there's always a list.
Yeah.
So just take action on it. Yeah, and you gotta keep a journal or something that you are being honest with yourself about. Like, you don't have to share it. You don't have to like tell your wife or anybody else. Just be completely honest with yourself in some way. That's why I started doing the videos on YouTube, so I could be honest with myself.
Really,
because it's like when you start talking to yourself, it opens up these different things, and you start watching those videos, and you start to see, oh my gosh, I'm saying this, I'm saying that.
Yeah,
I'm using these words that are victimizing myself. I'm using these words that are causing me to feel bad, and I don't want to feel bad. I want to feel good. Ace of Swords is also indicating that you will be successful. You have the drive. But there's too much play going on, Eric.
What?
Too much pleasure seeking.
Too much pleasure seeking.
Too much pleasure seeking. You got to start working, taking action on the work.
Okay.
Because there's stuff that you got to do, and it's just tedious shit, but you got to do it.
Okay.
And you know what that is. Let me keep going here. King of Swords. Also, setting your boundaries around distractions. It's huge. So don't let yourself be distracted, and don't allow people in your life to distract you when you're working. Distractions are huge because a 2-minute distraction, to get back into the flow state, it takes 30 minutes. It takes like 15 to 30 minutes to get back into a flow state. So if you get a 2-minute distraction, it takes you 30 minutes to get back into that flow state, and then you get another 2-minute distraction, you're screwed.
Right.
So you got to set boundaries. But do it, nicely or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, don't tell people to fuck off.
I mean, sometimes you got to tell people
sometimes.
to fuck off.
Okay. Got it.
But yeah, you just have a lot of self-limiting beliefs as well that need to, and they're on their way out. See, the swords are upside down. They're falling out of his back.
Really?
Yeah. 10 of Swords.
They're on their way out.
They're on the way out. I mean, they're
limiting beliefs about myself.
Exactly. 10 is also the card of completion. So it's like this cycle of you not feeling like you're enough is just done. Totally done. Yeah, but you got to take action. Ace of Wands is another action card. Action, 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 action. And just know that the inspiration, it will keep coming so long as you use it. If you stop using it, it stops coming. So if you get super inspired to get to work and then you say, well, you know, I did say I was going to go grocery shopping, and then you go grocery shopping, come back, you just wasted that. I wouldn't do that. I would pause it. There's a story about Michael Jackson. He would get ideas at 2 a.m. in the morning and he would shoot up and go execute them, because in his mind, if he didn't do that, Prince would get the same idea.
Right.
And so he wanted to make sure that he claimed the idea. And because he knew subconsciously or unconsciously that ideas are floating around in the ether. And we have access to them, yes, but everybody else does too. So if you have a really, really good idea and you don't act on it right away, just know that in 3 months, in 6 months, you'll see it. You'll see that idea playing itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stop it right there.
No, yeah, I like. You're making a lot of sense to me, Anakin.
It's the cards, man. It's the cards. And there's infinite combinations too, because you can put as many cards as you want out there. There's 78. They come in reverse. They come out sideways. They come out upright.
Okay.
There's a lot of applications. And you could ask about business. You could ask about love. You could ask about finances. You could ask any question, and we'll tell you where you're at vibrationally. Because essentially, the reason why you do the reading is so that you can know where you're at.
Yeah.
So you can change where you're at.
Yeah. No, this is, yeah, now I know. Yeah. Now I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's, that was incredible. I know what I got to work on now. You've given me a lot. What's funny is you came in here and I was like, oh, it's gonna be awesome. You know, he's gonna be such a fun, very interesting interview, a very interesting episode. But I'm walking away from this with like a ton more than I thought. Way more than just an episode, I would say. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for bringing me here. I appreciate it.
Dude, yeah. Anytime. Yeah. If you ever need me to help do anything or like be in a video or whatever, like with a reading or
definitely with the audio stuff and like with video stuff, I'm not very pro. I don't know.
Sure.
So I would be asking you about that.
Yeah. Phones are amazing for shorter video, like iPhones, and perfect. Mm-hmm. You know, for this, I have to do a whole other thing, just to get an hour's worth. You know, at 1080p.
So there's this book that I want you to read.
Okay.
It's called Winning Through Intimidation.
I'm gonna write it down.
It's by Robert Ringer.
Winning Through Intimidation.
It's about this real estate agent, and it's essentially talking about how people knowingly or unknowingly in your life throughout your whole life intimidate you. And they do it. It's not that they are overbearing and that they're mean. Some people intimidate you through giving you a gift or through being super nice to you.
Yeah.
And so now that they've been nice to you, it's like you don't want to disappoint them. You want to please them.
Right.
That's an intimidation thing. So I would read that book because I think it would help you a lot. I'm reading it right now. I'm on chapter 12 on Audible in the car.
Okay, nice.
So it's a great book.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm a little lost for words now. Now my brain is
yeah. No.
Is there anything? And we did the perfect length. We've gone the perfect amount.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we didn't cover that you want to share before we wrap it up?
No, I think I'm good. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it.
Please, everyone go subscribe to Anakin's Insights on YouTube. I'll put a link in the show notes to direct everybody there. Go check him out. It's awesome. Because what do you upload? Like every day?
Yeah, just once a day.
That's crazy. I mean, that's awesome. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like, I'll throw out a couple different kind of videos, and then I'll do tarot readings, and I just play around. I'm playing around with it a lot recently. And I'm sort of in this
Mm-hmm.
space where I've only been doing it for 6 months. So, and I just recently made a website, and so now
nice.
I'm like getting out there. I'm trying to, figure out a plan for TikTok and for Instagram. What I've done is I've messaged these tarot readers.
Yeah.
And I've reached out to them to see what their plans are and what they do, so that maybe I can pick their brain.
Yeah. Are you gonna try to do like live, like a live stream readings?
So I watched this guy on Instagram. His name's Madam Adam.
Okay.
He's like a guy. He has like nails and stuff, whatever. But he does really good readings, and he does lives every night.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's like, this guy's dedicated. Like, that's really good. So I might turn myself onto that.
That would be really fun.
It would be really fun.
That would be cool.
Yep.
Go check him out. You're gonna be huge. You're gonna be big.
Massive. This is huge.
You're the chosen one, Anakin. You just are. You just are, dude. Thank you so much. Another round of applause.
Thank you
for Anakin coming on the show. It was so fun having you. Thank you for the Bruce Lee, the lines. Thank you for the reading. Oh my God. It was, thank you for all the information. And, hopefully you had fun, and
I did.
Hopefully we can get you back in here, sometime, and you can do a reading on one of my buddies, or we can do me again. I don't care. Because you were such an interesting person to talk to. It's going to be a very different episode for everybody.
Cool.
And it's going to be really refreshing. So don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate me 5 stars, all that good stuff. Go subscribe to Anakin's Insights. Don't forget to spay and neuter your pets. And good night. The sun.